In this video, you are going to learn how to make these beautiful, easy to make cupcake toppers to decorate your cupcakes. Now, you may be wondering how to make the beautiful cake. There's a full video on this, so you can also check it out. But for this video, I'm going to show you how to make these easy to make cake toppers. So one thing you should always do when you're starting with fondant is making sure you knead your fondant so that it's nice and pliable. If you're not sure how to do this, check out this video I made showing a different style of cake toppers where I go into a little bit more details on how to prep your fondant. Next, you need your letter cutters. These are old-fashioned style cutters where all the letters are in a single roll. You can also find letter cutters that are individual letter, whichever works for you. The key thing to get letters that look good is to apply firm pressure, not too much that you damage the fondant, but enough to get the imprint of your letters. Also, when you roll your fondant out, you don't want it to be super thin. Otherwise, the letters that you create will be too fragile and difficult to pick up and will not keep its shape. So I'm just using a cutter knife to just basically take out the excess fondant. Depending on the type of cutters that you use, this step may be unnecessary. But if the edges look rough, make sure that you neaten them, getting rid of any excess fondant so that your letters look nice and sharp and smooth. If you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to Dr. Mummy's Cakes channel. I post lots of great videos that will help you learn how to bake and decorate amazing cakes. You can also use your fondant tool to neaten any rough edges to make your letters look nice and neat. If your letters are not keeping its shape, you can leave it for a while to harden before then putting it on your cake topper. Now let's make the base of the cake topper. So I've kneaded my fondant properly. I am rolling it out with a silicone rolling pin. You will see that I don't roll it out too thin. You do want it to have some degree of thickness to it. So this is the thickness of your fondant that you are aiming for. Next, we're going to cut out circular shapes with a cutter. You want to use a cutter that has the same circumference roughly as your cupcake so that it sits nicely on the cupcake. If it's slightly smaller, it will still work, but you don't want to use one that is bigger than the circumference of your cupcake. So you just use that to cut your circles and they look nice and neat. Again, I leave it for a while to harden. When the fondant hardens a little bit, it's less softer and it's more easier to decorate with. So now I've got some edible glue which I'm going to use to stick the letters onto the topper. I find it easier to apply the glue onto the letters. I'm using a fine pointed paintbrush so that I can accurately apply some glue on there. You want to use enough that it sticks, but not too much that it seeps around the letters and ruins the finished look of your cake topper. So do that for all the toppers and just stick it onto your fondant. Again, you might leave it for a couple of minutes for the glue to set before then continuing with your cake decorating. The advantage of this technique is you can literally spell out anything that you want as long as you have some fondant and some letter cutters and all the tools that I've used. You can make a cake topper, cupcake topper to suit your every need. So this is a very simple, easy technique to learn, especially if you're a cake beginner, and it works quite well. Let us take a moment and admire our finished cake topper. It looks so great, doesn't it? And the final step is to put it all together to have our decorated cupcake. So I've baked some vanilla cupcakes, which are super delicious. I have a recipe on my channel so you can follow this and make your own cupcakes. And I'm just piping a swirl. I'm using a 6B piping tip to pipe some buttercream onto the cupcake, and then this is going to act as a base for the toppers to stick it on. Some people skip this step and just apply directly to the cupcake without piping any swirling or decoration. If you want to do that, all you've got to do is just dab a bit of buttercream onto the back of the topper and then just stick it on the cake. You can do whichever works best for you. Can we have a drum roll, please, as we present our beautiful cake? I hope that you make this at home. It's super easy to make. Happy baking!